and welcome back to Kingdom Reviews. I'm your host, Future Keybearer. At E3 2013, Square Enix made an announcement that would change the Kingdom Hearts community forever. I am of course talking about Kingdom Hearts 1.5. What? In all seriousness though, it's a good thing that Square announced KH3 was in development when they announced this, otherwise the entire fandom would have been in a riot. However, 1.5 was still a big deal. Not so much because of its main intention of getting people caught up with the series before KH3, but rather the fact that the version of KH1 they'd be using was Final Mix. At long last, international fans who couldn't import or emulate the game could finally experience Final Mix in all its glory! Japanese fans probably didn't care as much. For as great as this was, though, there was one teeny tiny issue. No one at Square kept the original game data. Yeah, while they still had some assets they could use, the development team had to recreate most of the game from the ground up. But on the plus side, I'm sure this made this at least a little bit easier to make a few changes to the game. First and foremost was the camera. They mapped the camera controls to the right analog stick as opposed to the L2 and R2 buttons. And I'm pretty sure I made my feelings on this change pretty clear in my KH1 Final Thoughts video. Also, they supposedly pulled the camera back a bit. I say supposedly because, honestly, I can't tell the difference. I don't know if they decided against this change, or if the change is so negligible I can't even tell. One thing I am sure of, however, is the changes made to the command menu. They moved the miscellaneous command from the fourth slot and mapped it to the triangle button, which was a good call. Originally, they were going to remove the now blank fourth slot, but decided to move the summon command to that slot. Again, a good call, as it makes summoning a lot quicker than it was in the original. Sure, technically it only means 2 less button presses, but that can make a big difference. Other than the Final Mix additions and the upscaling, that's about it for the changes. But the result is a great remaster of the original game. Too bad it didn't put as much effort into Chain of Memories. With Chain of Memories, it's clear that the majority of what they did was upscale the graphics and resolution. No changing out the models, hell, they should have changed out the Heartless for the Final Mix models. And they didn't change the lip sync to match the English dialogue anywhere. I'm kind of torn on this because, on the one hand, I'm sure that most of their efforts needed to be on KH1 and 358, but I wish more effort went into Chain of Memories. To their credit, though, there is one change that they made that actually fixes a small continuity issue with the PS2 version. In that version, if you have KH2 save data on your memory card, the rooms of rewards, in addition to the regular rewards, also give you an attack or enemy card based off of KH2. Thing is, every card in the game is supposed to be based off Sora's memories, and how is he supposed to have memories of stuff that hasn't happened yet? In 1.5, however, they changed most of the new attack cards into Keyblades based off 358 Days Over 2. By doing this, the cards become more like the Twilight Town card, meaning they come from the other side of Sora's heart, aka Roxas. It's a minor thing that most people probably didn't even care about, but I appreciate it. Speaking of 358, the final part of this collection is the main story cutscenes from the game, remastered and fully voice acted. And again, I'm torn. On the one hand, yeah, they would have had to have built another game from scratch, and to be fair, not a whole lot of people liked this game anyway. But I still think it would have been awesome to have. But instead, we basically have a movie. And a not very good one. Don't get me wrong, the story is still good, but just watching it like this is boring. Most of the scenes are just people sitting around talking. That's fine for the game because they serve as a break from the gameplay, but we need something more than this for a movie. Overall, this collection is really good, it just could have been better. Tune in next time as we begin our look at the next game in the series.